Hi guys, it's Misha Almira from MishaAlmira.com, and I'm checking in today because I am done with my HCG round and I lost 40 pounds, so I'm very happy about the results. And I took B12 while I was doing the rounds, so my energy was good. I did sublingual drops, and I'm putting links below the video so you can see where I got that, and also putting Dr. Simeon's. And I always recommend, I'm doing HCG 2.0, or was, but I also always recommend people to read the Dr. Simeon's guidebook. The HCG 2.0 is the modern version of that, but I think that reading the original is a good foundation and gives you a lot of information about it and how it works and where it originated from. So I always think that's a good plan. So I'm putting both of those below the video. And so yeah, I did a longer round, 50 days. I could have gone longer, and losing 40 pounds I'm excited about. I could have lost more, but I did have cheat days. So what I did when I cheated is I ended up, well, a few of them were accidental. I didn't realize that something that I was drinking had sugar in it or had a hidden sweetener. So that's definitely something to be aware of. You know, look at all the labels and ingredients. I even, I had miso soup thinking it was okay, but miso actually contains starches. And so it was a few things like that, and then a few slip-ups with raw food, what I thought were raw food desserts that actually had hidden sugars in them. So things like that will throw you off, and it was okay because I was able to do the water fasting to fix it. But the point of saying all of this is that I know that I could have had more weight loss, but 40 pounds is a lot. And I lost it in places that are usually hard places to lose, like my thighs and my hips and my lower abdomen and my arms. So I will end up doing maintenance and then another round, but I'm getting ready to travel, so I'm not going to go straight into that. And I found some herbs that I was taking. They're for mind and well-being, and I definitely noticed those assisting me with just the on the hard days. I didn't have a lot of hard days. This was a pretty easy round, and I didn't notice a lot of hunger. So yeah, I'm feeling good about that. As I'm going into the maintenance phase, I am doing certain things that will assist me, and they are ways that I've found that I can stabilize without any worries. And so I'll share those in another video, but I just wanted to share my final results, which 40 pounds, most of that was, a lot of that was in the first part of it, and the water fasting is definitely a good way to go. I can say that for certain. And you know, I think one of the important things to work with is that if you do have a cheat day, just not allowing yourself to go into guilt and shame around it, because that's part of what I believe needs to be shifted in order to lose the weight that has collected, you know, for years and years in the body. Not all the weight that we lose is physical. A lot of it is emotional. And so whatever you can do to stay out of guilt, shame, and beating yourself up over, you know, not doing it right or making mistakes, like the best advice I can give is to be gentle with yourself, celebrate your wins. And if you do have a slip up, you've got fasting, and you've got going down to one meal a day. If you have a plan, then you don't have to beat yourself up over it. You know, a lot of people say, absolutely don't cheat on HCG or you'll go up. And that may be true. What I've found is that when you go up after a cheat day, it's usually water weight. And if you just have a plan and do a fast day, just get right back in it instead of putting a lot of your energy into beating yourself up. I think this is really important. And work with your intentions. A lot of times, most of the time at night, as I was falling asleep, I would talk to my body and say, this is how much weight I want to drop overnight. And, you know, it might sound crazy, but your body listens when you're speaking. And intentions are incredibly powerful. So use your intentions to work for you. And just communicating with your body can be really effective. I've really found kind of tricks of the trade and that work every time, and that I want to share with all of you so that you can not have to make some of the mistakes that I've made. You don't feel like you're sliding backwards. So anything that I can share, you know, I will. I've had a lot of success with intermittent fasting, doing 1 meal a day. I combine my 500 calories into 1 meal. If you feel like you're not losing as much as you'd like, you can cut out the fruit and you can cut out the starches and do it that way. And then the fasting if you have a cheat day or if you have a stall. And so yeah, I'm doing another video to talk about the maintenance and the tricks that I found with that, because I did a few maintenance rounds that were not successful, and I went up and I went down and I went up, and I actually ended up resetting my default at a higher weight because I wasn't able to pull it off. And so I'm definitely going to share the tricks that I found with. I was able to exercise, and I know I've talked about this before, but before I get off, I'll just kind of briefly talk about what I did. So I did dance, I did yoga and walking, and then I did HIIT training yoga, which I would highly recommend HIIT training yoga. And they have it on Daily Om. I think you can also find YouTube videos. I did Daily Om. But that one was really useful for me because it was just enough to kick in the cardio, but not too much to burn all my calories. So you really want to find that balance, and it took me a while to find my own balance. I was trying to jog for longer, and that kind of kicked me into calorie deficit, which I wasn't losing as much. So if you can incorporate the HIIT training about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, if it's really intense HIIT training, then you'd want to do less than that. But the HIIT yoga training is good for any level, and it's a very effective way to burn a lot in a short amount of time. So highly recommend that. It worked for me. I was able to lose more per day this round doing that combo. So I wanted to mention that one of the things I did coming off of HCG was I dry fasted for a day and a half, and it actually worked beautifully. That was I did the very low calorie diet for the last 2 days, and then the first day into maintenance I did a dry fast. I actually did it for spiritual reasons, but it ended up working really well for the first day of maintenance, and I felt really supported in the transition from HCG into just the regular maintenance diet. So I wanted to share that with you. If it resonates with you, give it a try. I'd never incorporated dry fasting that closely with HCG, but to me it felt like it was a house cleaning and a reset, and I actually felt like it assisted the hypothalamus in really getting on board with the next phase. And yeah, it to me feels very, very supportive. Before, the transition for me was a little rocky, a little rough, going from very low calorie with HCG to 2 days, and then like trying to up my calories from there. So with the dry fasting, I knew that it would be supported, but I just didn't know how it would be by going, breaking it and going into the diet. But so what I did was I dry fasted, and then the next day I just did the one meal at night, which I did eggs, and those seemed light enough, and it seemed like the perfect, first meal after the dry fast. I wouldn't go into having like a steak or, meat, if you can help that at all. If you can help that, try to do something lighter like eggs, or just maybe have a little broth and then have your meal. But just kind of what I did was just intuitively felt it out, and so yeah, this is something that I'm going to incorporate in between phase 2 and phase 3 of HCG 2.0. This has worked for me, but feel it out for you. See if this resonates. See if it's something that you feel like you can do and something that you believe would be supportive, and do it from there. I'm not giving any medical advice at all, and if this feels like something that you just absolutely doesn't feel right for your body, then don't do it and don't listen to me. We all have different bodies and different needs, so I highly recommend you tuning into your own intuition and your own body around this. But for me, that's what it was craving, is a complete break and reset to go into the next phase. So it was a transition and a reset for my mind and my spirit. So yeah, if this is helpful, great. If not, like I said, trust your own intuition, because that's what's most important. I wanted to mention that before I jumped off. But feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Also, check out the links below. I'm going to include all the links so you know exactly what I'm doing and what's worked for me, and hopefully it'll work for you too. This is just my experience. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a professional. I'm merely sharing what's worked for me. And so I wish you luck on your losses and your success and just thriving.